In the last video, I showed you what enforcement is and why it's completely different from credit repair or disputes. Today, I'm going to show you the system behind enforcement, the actual map, the actual process, the actual chain. Once you see this, you will understand completely how enforcement works and why almost nobody teaches it. Now, before we get started and before we get into the good stuff, you already know what I need to hear. Come on, you know what it is. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. Hey, credit pull, get me my money. Perfect. All right, let's get it. Now we can begin. I'm impermissible pull man, the credit pull guy. People just call me credit pull because around here, credit pulls equals money. And I teach people how to put cash in their pocket simply for having a credit file. Let's get into the enforcement system. Everything starts with your rights. You have rights under federal law that protect your private data. You have rights that control who accesses your credit. You have rights that limit who can pull your credit. If you want to look this up yourself, it's 15 USC subsection 1681B as in Bravo. That's the federal rule that controls who is and who is not allowed to access your credit file. The FCRA, or the Fair Credit Reporting Act, is the federal foundation. It's the 10,000-foot view of where your rights came from. Over time, individual states came up with their own versions of the law. But in this series, we're only going to concentrate on the federal laws because they apply to every consumer in the United States. It does not matter which state you live in, the law is the same, and it's not just who can access it, but why. The law basically creates two buckets. They can pull your credit if they have a legal reason. That includes if you applied for credit, if you applied for insurance, if you applied for employment, if you applied for housing, if you applied for some kind of government benefit, if you applied for some kind of government license, if you have an existing account, if they are collecting on a debt. Now, if they are collecting on a debt and they can prove they are actually authorized to legally collect, meaning they own the debt, they service the debt, or they have a valid assignment. If they're verifying your identity for fraud prevention, if a government agency has a statutory reason like child support or you applied for a government license, if it pertains to a court order or a subpoena, or if they're claiming under the statute to have sent a firm offer of credit or insurance. They cannot pull your credit if you didn't apply for anything. You do not have an existing account. You're not in collections, or they cannot legally prove they have a right to collect. There's no fraud prevention reason. There's no government agency reason. There is no valid firm offer of credit or insurance. Or there is no permissible purpose under 1681B. A violation happens when someone accesses your private data without permission. Not when they make a mistake. Not when they accidentally pulled your credit. A violation is unauthorized access, period. Every violation creates evidence. The inquiry, the data access, the timestamp, the company that pulled the credit, the CRA record. Enforcement is about documenting evidence, not arguing with it. This is the part most people never realized. A soft pull is private. It doesn't show up as negative. It doesn't hurt your score. It doesn't block you from getting credit. Only 3 people realize that it happened. The company that pulled your credit, the CRA, and you. That's why the public doesn't know these violations exist and why enforcement matters. This is the part nobody teaches. Enforcement is the legal remedy, not a letter. It's the step where you actually enforce your rights. It's the step where you actually stop unauthorized access. It's the step where you actually hold violators accountable. Every violation has a remedy, and that remedy is cash. Enforcement is not about fixing your credit. It's about enforcing your rights and getting paid every time those rights are violated. Once you understand the statute and how simple enforcement really is, you're going to want these violations, because every illegal pull is money waiting to happen. And every violation is cash in your pocket. Once you understand this system, everything else becomes simple. You'll understand why illegal pulls matter. You'll understand why enforcement is so powerful. You'll also understand why almost nobody teaches this. In the next videos, I'm going to break down each step of this system one by one so you can see how enforcement works in real time. Everyone profits from your private data except you. It's time to change that. Credit pull out.